overthinking. I think we need more thinking.
If I had the opportunity to go to a Nuggets game right now, I would have gone tonight. Definitely. If nothing else, to just have been there to support Michael Porter Jr. return.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a good situation.
And over the shoulder, no looker.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets took on the Brooklyn Nets tonight to welcome back NBA champion Michael Porter Jr. the first time since the offseason trade. Now, before this game started, we had the injury list of AG, CB, Cam Johnson, and Yoke all out. Adelman apparently is hopeful that CB, Cam, and Yoke will all return before the All-Star break. Fingers crossed, and fingers crossed that they come back actually healthy and not rushing them back. I'm looking at you, CB. But then we got the unfortunate news that AG will be out for another 4 to 6 weeks. With this, I just kind of start to keep looking back at the 2023-24 season, the defending season. And really, that was the best chance for the Nuggets to win the championship for the second time. They had everything in their power to win that. And I, unfortunately, as much of a Michael Malone fan I am, I do bring a lot of blame to him for them losing. Like, I know him and Booth were arguing a lot behind closed doors about who to play and everything, but when it all comes down to brass tacks, you have the same guys playing right now that Malone refused to play. And they are actually holding the fort together right now. Players like Zeke Naji, Julian Strother, even P. Watt. And then, and Hunter Tyson, I think, got some minutes too. It has been getting some minutes, so, it's Hunter Tyson. He had one good game so far. But nevertheless, like, there's a lot of guys who are playing right now that Malone refused to have played. And so I just think back that if he had just, instead of focusing on winning, which definitely that is the coach's job, is to focus on winning, but they should also focus on empowering and uplifting their players. And I feel like that's where Malone went wrong. He should have been uplifting and empowering the bench to play better so that he didn't have to run the starters into the ground. And that's kind of what happened. The starters played way too many minutes. And then when it came to the playoffs, just ran out of gas against Minnesota, losing a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. But it also makes me then realize that was the last season that we will have gotten with a fully healthy AG, because ever since then he has sustained injuries that have kept on creeping back, soft tissue injuries, calf strain, hamstring strains, and everything. And now we're next season, new season, and he's back to injuring his hamstrings, and so he's going to be reevaluated in another 4 to 6 weeks. So that will leave him with like about 20 games left in the season before playoffs. Hopefully that's enough to get him kind of back in shape and ready to go into the playoffs, because we definitely do need him. But I also just want him to relax now. I want him to fully commit to recovery, get to the best shape and health that he has been in. And so we don't get into, or the Nuggets don't get into an awkward spot where they might have to relieve his contract because he's injured all the time. I just want him healthy, But I will also say that, AG is a phenomenal athlete. He has a his physique is extremely, like, lack of a better word, swollen, right? He's ripped, but that's just the top half. If you look at AG at full, like, body, he kind of has chicken legs. And it kind of makes me think that maybe he's not focusing so much on leg workouts that can help strengthen his body from the base, because he definitely has everything up on the top. And so that when you have that kind of body built, then your legs are naturally going to be weaker. And I think that a lot of that has to do kind of with his workout regimen too. I mean, I know that he's really, really strong and healthy and everything, but then at the same time, like, maybe you're focusing on the wrong workouts, AG. Focus on those leg ones. But nonetheless, he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jamal and Big Val were both listed as questionable, and they would play. So the starting lineup: Jamal Murray, Jalen Pickett, P. Watt, Spencer Jones, and Big Val. They had that little thank you video for Michael Porter Jr. And I mean, if I had the opportunity to go to a Nuggets game right now, I would have gone tonight. Definitely. If nothing else, to just have been there to support Michael Porter Jr. return, and also try to boo him when he takes free throws, because that was a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit weird to see Nuggets fans booing Michael Porter Jr. when he was at the foul line. And I get it, you're trying to make him miss, but it was just like, oh man, that was one of our guys. That was, yeah, Mike, But the Nuggets were in their white jerseys, the Nets were in their black jerseys, and the Nuggets got the win. No sweep for MPJ against the Nuggets. Let's go. Final score: 107-103. So a near win against a bum team, a team that is tanking. And I know a lot of people are crashing out right now on the Nuggets. They are really frustrated, and this win does not sit well with them. But I will say, a win is a win. A win is a win, and they are down 4 starters. So, it is quite possible that they could have this kind of game against every team. And it's kind of looking like that's going to be the case. Until Jokic gets back, they're going to be down to the wire and not blowing anyone out. And it's really unfortunate, but that is kind of what we're going to be getting to. And because they're tired, they're super tired. And the All-Star break couldn't come fast enough. And then just like by the luck for Jamal, he's probably not going to even get rest. But on the same end, I think that Jamal kind of doesn't need rest. He plays better when he doesn't have rest. I mean, I still blame the 3-day break on him being very lackadaisical and low energy in the Pistons game, which also we have an update on the on that. So last episode, no one knew what was going to happen, if they were just going to remove the game, if Nuggets were going to play an 81 game season, or if they were going to play an 82 and they were going to find that game somewhere else. And the worry was that they were going to cut the All-Star break short for the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. They didn't do that. No, they did something actually way worse, in my opinion. They gave the Nuggets a 5th back-to-back in March. Come on, Adam Silver. Oh my God. Like, I am so irritated with that vampire-looking dude. The Nuggets already have way more back-to-backs than anyone else in the league right now. That is just bias and gross hating on this team. And then to top that off, they play the night before, they play at home in Ball Arena against the Sixers. Then they're going to have to go on the plane for a day trip to Memphis, play the Grizzlies, and then come back to the Mile High to play the Lakers 48 hours after that. What are you doing, NBA? Like, seriously, what are we doing now? You are intentionally trying to hurt the Nuggets at this point, giving them more back-to-backs, not making their schedule any easier. I mean, Would we see OKC with this kind of schedule? Hell no. They have less back-to-backs than anyone else in the league. Like, it's just so ridiculous how rigged and corrupt the NBA is right now. Adam Silver needs to go. He is not doing anyone favors except for his own pocketbook. He needs to be investigated and thrown out. There's no way that he is like benefiting off of this and being a decent person at the same time. But that's a different topic for a different time. But still, that was the update. So it's what was it? It's March 18th, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it's March 18th because the 17th is the Sixers, 18th is now the Memphis Grizzlies, and they actually ended up shifting a lot of different teams' schedule just to fit this in. Like, at that point, if it's that much of a hassle, remove the game. No one is going to miss that game. No one's going to wish that they had played that one game, and no one's going to complain that the Nuggets got one less game than everyone else. No one's going to complain about that because they already see how beaten up the Nuggets are right now. They already see how easy the OKC Thunder have it right now. There is no contention for if the Nuggets were to have played one less season. Like that. Anyways, we're going back to this game. So Nuggets and Nets, MPJ back in Ball Arena. And we don't know if he will actually be back in Ball Arena for another time if he gets traded to the West. It is possible. There are trade rumors of him getting traded to Golden State, Golden State, or the other rumor was the Houston Rockets. Both teams, I would strongly protest both of those. I want to keep MPJ in the East. I don't want to see MPJ more than 2 times a season unless he's on the Nuggets again. But even then, I don't know with this lineup right now if he fits. So keep him in the East. We don't need him dropping 40 on us 4 times a season. Keep him in the East. But if he were to come to the West, just hypothetically, I would say it would probably be better to go to the Warriors than the Houston Rockets. I just do not want the Houston Rockets to succeed at all. What happened in this game? Well, the first quarter, the Nuggets controlled the tip, and Claxton blocks Big Val's shot, as on the other end, MPJ draws the foul, makes both free throws for the first points of the game, and then MPJ hits a 3 for the first field goal of the game. It was a very hot start for MPJ, and he definitely just owned a lot of this game, to be honest. Murray then sank a 3 to get the Nuggets on the board, and then a reverse layup from Murray gives the Nuggets their first lead by 1. Nets then take their first time out of the game after that, and out of that break, MPJ takes over, sinks back-to-back threes. Finally, P-Watt and Tim Hardaway Jr. Come in, and they sink back-to-back threes themselves to give Nuggets a 4-point lead. Murray then gets a steal on MPJ, which was just fun to watch those two go at it. You had him highly contest a 3 that MPJ was trying to put off. Didn't work. Then he got a steal on MPJ. Nuggets couldn't convert it, though. Turns the ball over. Sharp then ties the game at 25 with a dunk. And P-Watt blocks the Nets' last attempt for a bucket in the quarter as the Nuggets outscored the Nets 30-26. Second quarter, Nuggets start the quarter off with a lineup of Strother, Hunter, Tim Hardaway Jr., Brucey B, and Big Val, as Sharp, with a hook, gets the first bucket of the game. Tim Hardaway Jr. then hits a jump shot for 2 to get the Nuggets on the board, and then Strother with a steal over to Tim Hardaway Jr. for the 3 gets the lead up to 13 for the Nuggets. Strother for 3 gets the Nuggets first to 50 then, and then the team seems to be playing on a much overall team style of play. This is what I really noticed in the second quarter, and we've seen highlights of this, right? We saw it in the second quarter. Second quarter was a great quarter for the Nuggets, a very fantastic quarter. They were playing, a lot of ball movement, trying to find the right player, the open man. They weren't playing so much ISO. There was a little bit at the beginning, but then they started to shift, and it was beautiful. And then the Nuggets go up by 19 at one point in this game. They were up by 19 before MPJ then sinks another three. Closing out the quarter, Nuggets dominated the Nets 34-23 and take a 64-49 lead into the half. Third quarter, the Nuggets start off with the starters as Mann sinks a three right out of the gate for the first bucket of the quarter. Piwatt with a buzzer beater gets the Nuggets on board. And then the Nets cut the lead down to 8 with nothing but threes. They were just raining threes on the Nuggets, which for me, the big thing there was just, I thought that the Nets were tanking. Were they not supposed to tank this season? And yet the only team that they seem to be playing hard against is on the Nuggets. I don't get it. Why? Why, Gordy, are you focused on trying to beat only the Nuggets? You face the Nuggets twice a season. Don't focus on us. Focus on the other teams in the East that you need to be focused on. So, MPJ then hits another three, cuts the lead down to 3 because he just kept on sinking shots. Finally, Murray makes the Nuggets' first bucket in 6 minutes. The Nuggets went out or had a 6-minute period of no buckets at all. It was very difficult to watch. The third quarter in itself was very difficult to watch. And I would expect it was difficult to watch for both teams, really, because, I mean, you had the 16-4 start for the Nets in that quarter, which I'm sure if you're a Nets fan, you're loving that little stint. But then all of a sudden it goes cold for both teams, and you just have players bricking shots on both sides, and no one's able to make a bucket until finally Murray is, and he gets a dunk on MPJ, which was great. Zeke then turns over the ball. After you got this phenomenal play by Murray, you thinking that's going to rile up the guys. Zeke turns over the ball on a bad pass as Martin, with an uncontested dunk, ties the game at 70. Tim Hardaway Jr. then drills a three for his first points of that quarter. And then Michael Porter Jr. gets called for an offensive foul with a leg kick out. If you've watched the Nuggets or if you've watched the Nets, if you watched anything with Michael Porter Jr., you know that his jump shot involves him kicking out a leg. And he has been called for it several times in his career. He got called for it again. They called a challenge on it, and it was successful. They deemed it a normal move for him, a natural shooting shot motion for him, which was unfortunate because he actually tripped Piwatt while doing that. And then so that ends up tying the game again at 73. Nuggets then build a 4-point lead before Wilson hits a three, makes it a 1-point game. And then Strother, in the final seconds of the quarter, gets a steal and a layup to extend the lead back to 3. Nets outscored the Nuggets 27-15. Fourth quarter, Nuggets start off with a lineup of Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., Hunter Tyson, Strother, Big Val, and they immediately start off with a turnover by Bruce. Neither team then can score on either end of the court. Finally, Bruce, after taketh with a play of turning over the ball, he repays it back, givething with sinking a three for the first bucket of the quarter. Nuggets then get into the bonus early, very early, at the 8:43 mark. MPJ then chips the Nuggets lead down by himself and ties it back up at 90. I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronunciate this guy's name correctly, but Traore gives the Nets the lead with a layup. That was their first lead since the beginning minutes of the first quarter. They get the lead by 2. Nets on a 13-3 run ends with Piwatt on a driving layup to tie the game back up at 92. And then back-to-back 3-point plays from Jamal and Big Val get the Nuggets first to 100. From that, we get a rebounding play where Claxton and Big Val tussle for the rebound. The ball clearly goes out on Claxton. The Nets challenge that call. I guess that's fine with me. They were down anyways, and they were looking for a handout, and so they challenged that call. But it was clearly out on Claxton. There was no proximity foul either, so the call was unsuccessful, or the challenge was unsuccessful. Nuggets ball, and out of that, Murray with a fadeaway for 2. And then the Nuggets get their lead up to 5 as Piwatt, with 4 seconds left on the clock, 4 seconds left on the clock, fouls man at the arc. It was a stupid foul. Like, I don't know what the Nuggets are doing. I mean, you saw, what was it? Spencer Jones. He did that stupid foul in the final seconds. What was it against the? It was against Luka. Yeah, on the Lakers. That when the Lakers came, he had that stupid foul. Now it was P. Watt's turn. He fouls man. Man makes all 3 buckets. Makes it a 2-point game. Luckily, they weren't able to. Luckily the Nuggets were able to get more buckets and the Nets weren't able to get more buckets because then Big Val goes to the line for some clutch free throws, makes both free throws and makes it a 4-point game. And on the other end, Nets aren't able to sink a bucket. Nuggets hold on and they outscore the Nets 28-27 in the fourth. Nuggets win again. Final score 107-103. Let's go Nuggets. So, the Nuggets are in a funk, it seems like, like ever since Jokic went out and they've been struggling to maintain the 3rd seed, they've had a lot of great games and they've also had a lot of bad games. And right now, it seems like ever since that 3-day break, they've just been in this kind of weird funk, trying to battle energy levels and sticking around with good team plays. They are not playing with the level of play, though, that got them the 3rd seed and is maintaining the 3rd seed. There has been shades of that. In the Pistons game, it was in the 4th quarter. Tonight, it was in the 2nd quarter when they grew a 20-point lead and almost nearly blew out the Nets. But then they haven't really been consistent. So the energy levels are just all over the place, which leads me to think, is Adelman playing certain players into the ground right now? By not giving Deron Holmes and Curtis Jones more minutes, is he really starting to play some of these other players into the ground? Let me know in the comments what you think, but I think that there's something to say that when you're down this many players, you need to start playing more of the 3rd string players. You just can't rely solely on the primary players that you're used to playing right now. You need to space that time out. And I don't think Adelman, I think the reason why they're eking by on this is that they're really just holding it together health-wise right now. But I would strongly suggest he starts to use Deron Holmes more. The only way he's going to get better is if he starts to get more time on the floor, more experience playing against certain players. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly. But while Jokic is out, you really don't have an option. You got to play everyone. And I just hope that he starts to play more 10, 12-man rotations instead of this 9-man stuff. But let me know in the comments what you think. So overall, or the stats, let's go to stats here. So Spencer Jones played 15 minutes tonight. He had 1 point. 1 point. Good job, Spence. It is difficult to make buckets in the NBA. So 1 point, he got 1 point. He got 1 rebound too. He only played 15 minutes again. And he had 0 for 3 from field, 0 for 3 from 3, 1 for 2 in free throws, 0 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a minus 23. Not a good game for Spencer Jones tonight. And, every player they're allowed to have a bad game now and then. P. Watt played 34 minutes tonight, which was the most amount of minutes of any Nugget tonight. He made 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 7 for 15 from field, 2 for 3 from 3, 3 for 6 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 1 personal foul. He was a 0. But it was great to see him off that injury list. I hope that continues. I hope his ankles are healthy and strong. I would love to see P. Watt continue to elevate his game there. Big Val played 24 minutes tonight and racked up 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He was 4 for 11 from field, 0 for 1 from 3, 4 for 4 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a plus 11. He even gave Jamal a little like response, kind of like, I got you on the clutch free throws that he made. It was almost like making fun of Jamal for missing those free throws against the Pistons. I don't know if Jamal's going to live that down this season, especially because he is such a good free throw shooter and a clutch player. To see him miss all of those free throws that could have won the game, I don't think he's going to live it down. I think they're going to continue to make fun of him for that. So, but great, play from Big Val. Even if it's 12 points, that's still really solid for a center, even a backup center, really. And because Big Val is back in the lineup, we have just elevated our rebounding. I mean, you just see the impact that he has immediately on the game for the Nuggets, and how needed it's been to have a bigger person in the lineup against these teams. So, and he didn't play against the Nets in Brooklyn either. I remember that because it was only the next game that then Big Val went down in Toronto. So it's nice to see him battle out against Claxton, because Claxton was trying to aggravate a lot of the players, and Big Val wasn't going to have it. He was like going to shove him back, and he was going to give him a dose of his own medicine back, which I loved because I'm not a big fan of Claxton. So Jalen Pickett played 15 minutes tonight, 0 points. Jalen Pickett, man, he needs to be playing better. He needs to be playing better. He can't go these stints of like stringing games along with close to 0 points, if not 0 points. You are in the starting lineup. You need to be making at least 10 points. As a starter, you need to be making at least 10 points. And that goes for Spencer Jones as well. They need to be making at least 10 points. 0 points, unacceptable. I don't care how much of an impact you had on the game. You need to make more than 0 points if you're a starter. So 0 points for him, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 0 for 2 from field, 0 for 2 from 3 points. He had 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls, and was a -9. Our guy, Jamal Murray, 32 minutes tonight, 27 for 27. He had 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. He was 9 for 16 from field, so a 56 percentage. And if you compare that to Michael Porter Jr. tonight, who did put up more shots because he's the primary ball handler for the Nets, but he shot 46%. So Jamal, better percentage than MPJ. I'm just going to say that, 2 for 3 from 3. He was 7 for 7 from free throws tonight. I guarantee you, him missing those free throws stuck with him. He is not going to miss free throws again. It will be a while before Jamal misses some free throws. He is definitely going to make a point. He's going to make a statement not to miss free throws after that. 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a -9 as well. Big thing from the bench. So we had 2 players who had some decent impact, and that was Brucey B with 12 points off the bench in 32 minutes, and he was a +13. But our main guy tonight that we're going to talk about, Tim Hardaway Jr. Man, I am so glad. I've said this several times on this show, and I will say it more, and I will continue to say it more. He is the best, or one of, because Big Val was a phenomenal grab in the offseason, but Tim Hardaway Jr. has been a phenomenal addition to the Nuggets roster. I don't know what the Mavericks are talking about. The Mavericks fans who hate on Hardaway, I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, Hardaway definitely was part of the reason why the Pistons did so well last season and got them into the playoffs. Now he's on the Nuggets, and he played 27 minutes tonight and put up 25 points. At one point, he was the leading game scorer, leading over MPJ, who got 38 tonight. Awesome, fantastic, extraordinary performance from Hardaway Jr. I loved seeing him get out of that slump from 3. So he had 25 points 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He was 9 for 15 from field, 7 for 11 from 3. 0 for 1 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls, and was a plus 21, the highest plus minus of any Nugget tonight. So if you compare 7 for 11 from 3 with Hardaway Jr. to 7 for 15 from 3 from Michael Porter Jr., let's go, Tim Hardaway. I don't want to hear anyone say that the Nuggets lost the trade. They did not lose the trade. The trade was never for Cam Johnson. Yes, Cam Johnson was included in that, but the main point of that trade was to get off the expensive contract that was weighing down the Nuggets and keeping them from getting a better bench. Now that we're off of that, we were able to get a 1-for-1 for Dario Saric with Big Val. And then you were also able to get Bruce B on the roster and Tim Hardaway Jr. You also have a little more space to open up for another roster spot, which now they're a little bit over the tax. And so what I've been hearing about for the trade deadline is that the Nuggets aren't going to make a big push in the trade deadline. They're going to make a minor one. And that might be just to really get off the $400,000 over that they are on the luxury tax right now. They're trying to get under that. And so that's going to be offsetting some salary cap, which might include someone like Hunter Tyson, which wouldn't be enough. There's also Jalen Pickett or Zeke Naji that they will get off of, or Julian Strawther. I think that the main focus would probably be either Zeke Naji or Julian Strawther. I think those two are going to be the main selling points that they're going to try to get off of. So Ben Wallace, I have a lot of faith in Ben Wallace, especially after they did that 1-for-1 trade for Dario Saric for Big Val, because that has been huge. That has been just on another level, amazing. And if they can get rid of Zeke Naji and get someone else in, who's just pretty much anyone else would be better right now. So another big though. We need another big. But phenomenal, performance from Tamaro Jr. I can't get enough of Tamaro Jr. I'm so glad that he is a Nugget right now, and he has been holding down the bench for the Nuggets. And so let's get into overall stats here. We had 41 rebounds to their 49, just because again they're bigger. Michael Porter Jr. is bigger, and Claxton, both of those are big. You only have Big Val. So, it's going to be like that sometimes. We had 24 assists to their 24, so we had tied there. 6 steals to their 4. We had 4 blocks to their 6. That's weird. We flipped in those two categories. We shot 47% from field. They shot 43%. We shot 50% from 3. They shot 37%. And they are a highly efficient 3-point shooting team. As bum of a team that they are, as much as they are tanking, they are a very good 3-point shooting team, and not tonight. So that's good for the Nuggets. And then we shot 72% from free throws. They shot 83%. Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed in the last couple of games, that the Nuggets is just really struggling on the line for free throws. They had just been bricking a lot of free throws lately and struggling. It's not fun to watch, and I'm sure it's not fun to experience for them. But Piwat had trouble in a lot of. There was a couple of times he went to the line, he didn't make a single free throw. He lucked out with 3 for 6 free throws there. Even he went in the clutch seconds of the fourth quarter to the line, and he made one of 2. Like, he split it, and that's not. Nuggets need to be making their free throws, at least free throws. Like, those are free points. Those should be the easiest points to make, especially at home. Let's go. Turnovers, we had 6. They had 8. So low turnover game. We had 14 personal fouls. They had 21. And I will say that the officiating for this game, they did allow a lot of fouls to happen in this game. And it wasn't like egregious fouls, like hard, bad, like Lou Dort level, kind of dirty level fouls. But there was a lot of fouls that were shocking that they were just letting go. And I didn't really have a problem with it. It was kind of nice to just see it continue to play on. And it kind of forced both teams to evolve their game to not rely so much on going to the line. And I actually really enjoyed it. I think that they need to do that more. I think that you need to let ticky-tack fouls go. Save it for the big hurtful fouls, the reckless closeouts, the flagrant fouls, flagrant one and everything. Save it for that. But not save it for that, not this ticky-tack foul stuff. So, but overall, let's see here. If we just go around real quick for association. So, tonight we had the Kings and Sixers play. The Sixers won 113 to 111. We had the Wizards beating the Bucks. That's got to sting for Giannis. 109 to 99. I mean, he's got to be begging for a trade soon. There's no way. He's going to be traded. Watch it. He's going to be traded for sure. Hawks got beat, stomped really by the Rockets, 104 to 86. The Suns beat the Pistons. Of course they did. Because we tired them out. You're welcome, Suns. We tired them out. 114 to 96. And then the Bulls lost to the Heat, 116 to 113. The Hornets beat the Mavericks, 123 to 121. And then, wow, the Timberwolves beat the Thunder, 123 to 111. Be the only time that I will cheer for the Timberwolves. Good on you, Timberwolves. Good on you. But, I think that we are not talking enough about the Hornets. I think Charles Barkley has something to say there. Like, I think it's very real that there is a chance that the Hornets are going to be in the playoffs this season. I mean, I know that they are still in the play-in. See their spot right now. If we look at the standings, they are the 11th seed right now, and they are 2.5 games behind Chicago. And Chicago's on a 3-game losing streak. The Hornets are on a 5-game winning streak. I think that the Hornets, they are blowing out teams. They are not just winning against. They won against the Mavericks tonight by 2, but short of that, they blew out the Lakers. They blew out the Thunder, the 1 seed Thunder. They blew us out, the Nuggets. They've been blowing these teams out, and they are still in the 11th seed. I think that a lot of it had to do with the start of the season for them, that they had dealt with some unfortunate injuries, but now they're playing together and they are really surprising right now. I think that they will, if they're not in the playoffs, they will definitely be in the play-in. And it's just a matter now of who in the East is going to fall out of the play-in. It might be the Bulls. I hate to say it. My Bulls might be going out of the play-in. I mean, they are on a 3-game losing streak. They got to get something together here. It'll be interesting what they do on the trade. But Western Conference-wise, it was very needed for the Nuggets to get that win tonight, especially after losing a couple of games. And the Rockets are creeping on your heels. You got to win. And so we have a 2-game cushion between us and Houston, but we are still in the 3rd seed. 32-16 is our record right now. We are a half a game behind San Antonio, which, real quick, San Antonio got the luckiest freaking card for this week. They played 1 game this week. 1 game. Are you kidding me? What did San Antonio do to get that? 1 game? Come on. What about that kind of biasness? You got 1 game for the 2nd seed San Antonio Spurs, but then with the Nuggets, you give them the death gauntlet to race against. Like, what the hell, NBA? Freaking A, man. So, Spurs are 22-15. So if they just lose 1 more game and we win 1 more game, then we will reclaim that 2nd seed. But if they just lose a game right now, then they will tie and they still have that tiebreaker, man, in kind of honesty, March can't come fast enough. I want these two teams to face again so that we can reclaim the tiebreaker against this team. I'm not afraid of the Spurs. I think that they are very, they should be respected, and I respect them, definitely. But, if it's down to us and them, I think that the Nuggets can still pull out a win, especially in a 7-game series. And it'll be interesting because the Spurs were not in the playoffs last season. It's been a while, and they haven't been in the playoff season with Victor Wembanyama. He has not played a playoff yet. So this will be his first playoff. And as we've seen, the first one is always really difficult for teams. So I don't think that they're going to play or they're going to get past maybe the second round. Maybe. We will see. But that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow as the Nuggets take on the Clippers, the Red Hot Clippers, who are on a 3-game winning streak right now, sitting at the 10th seed. And we'll see how that goes. The Nuggets struggled against the Nets tonight. Hopefully they can at least get a win over the Clippers, because a win is a win. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And if you do feel gracious enough to give me a donation, the link for my PayPal is in the description below, as well as on the profile page. You can tack on a take or a comment of the team, of a player, of another team, another player, or this game or another game, or, we can talk about movies or another sport or music, but you put it on there and I'll shout you out in the next episode. All right. You've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you tomorrow.